Welcome to Module 13, Counterpressing. Counterpressing is a strategy in which a team attempts to win back possession of the ball in the immediate moments after losing it, typically for about the first 4 to 6 seconds. So, rather than moving from the attacking phase of play to the transition to defense phase, a team will attempt to move right back into the attacking phase by winning it back immediately. When executed correctly, counterpressing is a good way to win the ball back close to the opponent's goal, make it difficult for the opponent to establish rhythm, create numerical advantages in different areas of the field, and prevent counterattacks. We will be looking at 4 types of counterpressing, shown here. It's important to note that there are certainly instances when a type of counterpress could be interpreted as a combination of these styles. A ball-oriented counterpress is the most basic type, in which players take an aggressive mindset in attacking the ball, creating chaos and forcing a turnover. Here we see the highlighted player in possession. As she drives forward, we can see she eventually gives away possession to this player. At this moment, the player has a bit of space and even a couple of passing options, but is in a dangerous position in her own box. Understanding this, we see these 2 players aggressively pressing the ball, creating chaos and urgency, and forcing a turnover. Again, the ball-oriented counterpress is fairly simple, in that it is based on creating chaos and pressure on the player in possession. In a space-oriented counterpress, the idea is to put pressure on the ball carrier while crowding the space around it. As the highlighted player for the black team takes the throw-in, we can see the white team win possession, and the thrower sliding out to apply pressure on the ball. As we continue, we can see that 4 other players on the black team have shifted over to crowd the space. While a space-oriented counterpress does not explicitly and intentionally remove passing lanes, we can see that it naturally does so in the way that it crowds the space. As we see, the lack of options that result from the crowding of space leads to a turnover. In a man-oriented counterpress, the idea is to man-mark opposing players and eventually force a turnover. As the goalkeeper at the very top of the screen takes the goal kick, we can see that it is intercepted by an attacker for the white team, here. As her touch gets a bit away from her and it's turned over, let's look at how the white team has reacted. We can see there is pressure on the ball, and these 2 players are tight on their marks. This player could be a bit tighter on her mark, but is still discouraging the pass. By being quick to match up individually, we can see the white team has forced a turnover. A lane-oriented counterpress is arguably the most complex. This type requires intentional pressure on the ball, in a way that forces a pass into a certain opposing player for the purpose of intercepting the pass, or if not intercepted, applying immediate and intense pressure on the player receiving it. As the highlighted player for the white team takes the throw-in, we can see this player now in possession. We can first see the player behind her eliminating any easy options to move the ball sideways or backwards. We can then notice the highlighted thrower, who, by applying pressure from a wide area and forcing the player inside, leaves the ball carrier with essentially one option, here. Reading these cues, this player for the white team does a great job of anticipating the pass and steps in to win possession. Please move on to the lesson to work through what you learned in the video.